Hello, good morning, happy Wednesday. It's Amy Engelmark here, and this is the Breakthrough to Your Fun, Fabulous Life webinar training. Super excited to have you with us. If you are joining live, I invite you to put your name and where you're from in the chat box so we can see who is joining us live. And hello to all of you who are watching this replay. I want to tell you a little bit about what's going to go on in this webinar, who it's for, and why you should stick around and listen to all of what I have to share today, how it's going to benefit you. This webinar every week happens on Wednesdays at 11 a.m. But if you sign up, you're sent the replay. So if you can't make it live, don't worry. You won't miss out. I'm super, super pumped because I love sharing strategies, my systems in my coaching practice that have changed so many people's lives. This webinar is created for entrepreneurs, for business leaders, for anyone really who is feeling stuck and stressed out, maybe close to burning out, feeling worn out, and wants to have a system, strategies in place so that you can have more time freedom in your business, so that you can have more free time to rest or kick a ball around with your kids or go have some fun with some friends or your spouse. So if that's you, this webinar is perfect for you. If you are someone who needs to learn how to let go of control so that you can delegate those tasks that do not excite you to other people so that you can pursue some hobbies again, this webinar is for you. If you're so stressed out and you need stress management or time management skills, this webinar will really help you. It's all about increasing your productivity, increasing your success, increasing your free time, and decreasing your stress so you can have more peace of mind and more fun. Those are the types of things that we cover on this weekly webinar. So welcome. Again, if you're just joining us, please put your name and where you're from in the chat bar to your right. And if we get cut off, I'm just going to put a little hello there and you can contact me here. And if you need to contact me, you have a question that I don't have time to answer or something like that, you're welcome to send me a personal message at that email address I just shared, aengelmark@gmail.com. So I invite you to stick around to the end because every webinar that I host, I give something away at the end to the person who answers my question the quickest. So this is what I'm giving away today. It's a copy of this book. This is my copy. It's Feel the Fear and Do It Anyway by Susan Jeffers. It's a book that has really helped my clients, really helped me personally to overcome some fears so that you're not fearing conflict anymore, you're not having trouble making decisions, your confidence increases. Fear can show up in anywhere in your life and really cause damage and limit you from becoming who you're meant to be. So I'm going to send you a copy of this book. Stick around for the goodies at the end. And if you're the person who answers my question correctly, the first, then I'll be sending you this book. It's going to end up at your doorstep or in your mailbox. I'll tell you a little bit about myself and my story. I am the author of the upcoming book. It's called From Burnt Out to Bliss. It's a 30-day challenge for high achievers so you can have more fun and more freedom. For all of you who aren't on this webinar live, I'm going to add the link right now so that you can access those 2 free chapters of the e-version of my book. So I'm going to do that right now for you. And just give me a second. These chapters are really going to help you because what they do is they give you a step every single day so that you can take a step towards more time freedom without feeling guilty, without feeling selfish. Here is the link for you. All right, so let's move forward. About a couple years ago, my business started to become very successful. I became very busy, and balancing everything became a struggle for me. So I was super happy that I was able to help others transform their lives, that my systems and strategies were proven, they work. But one thing really became an issue, and that was that I started to become chained to my business in all the wrong ways. It's okay to love what you do. It's super important to love what you do for work. But if it gets to the point where you are the slave of your business instead of the master of it, then there's a problem. So my husband started noticing that I would bring my cell phone to the table at dinner time, that I would bring it to bed at night, and I was texting clients, and I had no boundaries, or very few of them. My kids were starting to say, "Mom, you sure like to work. Mom, how come you're still working? Mom, stop working." And I got some big hints and clues. Hey, Kristen, welcome all the way from Whitehorse. It's super awesome to have you with us. Anyways, I got some big clues that I was out of alignment and I needed some strategies. I really needed to change things up so that I could have more time freedom, clearer boundaries, so that I wasn't always focused on work, always focused on my clients' growth and progress, but also focused on myself, my health, and my family. So I wanted to be productive, and yet I still wanted to have more free time. So I wasn't solely devoting my life to my business. And I started applying new strategies that I was learning in my coaching to my own life. And it started changing things around. My husband became happier. Our family life was more fun because I was more present with my husband and my kids. And I was able to really enjoy myself and not worry about what I maybe would feel was not being taken care of when I would set boundaries up in my life. So I went from feeling stuck and chained to my business to feeling like I had a great life balance. And it changed the world for me and my family. Interestingly enough, I was equally productive, if not more so, because I started managing my time better. And everything that I learned, I transferred into teaching my clients. They started to get the same effects. They started to become happier, more balanced. Their stress levels started to decrease, and so many other positive benefits they started to enjoy. So that's a little bit about me and our topic today. Our topic today is called 3 Keys to More Freedom in Your Business. But before I go there, for those of you who don't know me very well yet, I like to have fun. I like to play outside. I like to have dates with my husband on a regular basis so that we always are feeling very in love with one another. I love God. What else about me? I like taking risks because I grow as a woman, as an individual, even though I'm still scared when I take those risks. There's a little bit about me. I host live workshops and group programs with clients from all over North America. I use the systems that I share with my clients, and the systems I'm going to share with you today, I use them in my personal life. They've not only helped my clients, they've helped me. So I have many case studies I could share with you so that you can see truly how effective they are. Let's hop in. I'm going to share some slides with you, and at the end, I will take the slides off and we can be face-to-face again. I'll ask you that question. You can see if you are one of the people who is eligible to get this book in the mail. It's an awesome, powerful book. So let's hop in. Just bear with me here as I share my screen with you. Okay. If you're just joining us, please add your name and where you're from in the chat bar to your right. so we can see who's on the call. Let's hop into the training. All right. So today's training is called 3 Keys to Create More Freedom in Your Business. If you are not an entrepreneur, if you do not own your own business, this still applies to you. Because between work and personal time, work and family time, work and play, you still need to have more freedom. You need to have the skills to create the time freedom that you desire in life. And that's what this training is all about. Every Wednesday, remember, every Wednesday we have this training. So really important reminder before we get into the training, and I'd like you to say this out loud with me. When I blame others, are you saying it out loud with me? When I blame others or circumstances for my lack of time freedom, I take away my own power to change. It's my responsibility to take control of my life so I can have the freedom that I want. That's an agreement I'd like you to consider adopting, a mindset I'd like you to consider adopting, because when you blame others for your lack in life, you actually strip yourself of power to change. And I don't want that for you. I want you to feel powerful and able to change anything in your life. So in order for you to have that power, you need to stop blaming. You need to stop making excuses. You need to take responsibility for what you want to show up in your life. Okay? So the first step for you to have more time freedom is to train. So whether you are training staff or team members, you could be training children, you could be communicating with your spouse. But what I mean by training is you need to make sure that everyone around you is comprehending what needs to be done. They know what skills they need to have so that you're not having to do everything for everyone. You're not always having to be present so that work gets done, so that chores or necessities get done. Super important to train others and delegate. Learn how to let go of control so that you can have more time freedom. So in order for you to train, you need to train on specific things so people are internally motivated to take charge even when you're not around. So what do I mean? You need to teach them this is what you do, this is what you don't do, and even more importantly, this is why we do the task in our company, in our business, in our home. This is why it's so important to our family, to our company, to this business. Because if people don't know why it's so important, they can't get on board with your vision. They can't get on board with your goals. They're not internally motivated, and they won't necessarily feel valuable either to the company if they don't feel part of the team. They won't feel valuable and respected by you, their leader, mom, dad, business leader, business owner. They won't feel respected or valued by you unless they feel like they're part of the team, like they're all on board and you all have the same vision. So they need to have comprehension, they need to have skill, but most importantly, they need to know why. Why are they doing the task? Why is it so important? And how can they align themselves with that importance? When this is in place, when you have developed a training to when people are coming into your family and they're little and you're training them from the start, or whether people are coming into your company, what is your training plan? When do certain things need to be taught? How often is a mentor going to be there with those new people so that their questions can be answered? They feel valuable because you're paying attention to them. Training takes time. Delegating those tasks that don't make you excited, where you don't use your best skills, delegating those tasks to other people is going to dramatically increase your free time. And when you are away from your work, you are going to notice your productivity increases because of the strength of your team, the strength of your family. Not only are you enjoying free time, but your productivity will increase. So when the team knows their why, it means that they will be successful without you. They won't need you there to make decisions. They won't need you there to make the final call, because they're going to start to believe that they can handle it by themselves and that you're not necessarily needed. You're integral to the company, obviously. You're integral to your family, but you're not the only one who knows how to do the task. Just taking a sip of water here. When you help your family develop that I can handle it attitude, when you help your business, your team members, your staff develop an I can handle it attitude, not only will their confidence improve, communication between you and staff improve, but they're going to be able to face little fears, face areas that they may have been avoiding, face tasks that they may have been avoiding before because they didn't feel up to it. They didn't feel like they could manage it or handle it by themselves. But once you help them develop that attitude, they're going to start feeling like anything is possible. And even if I fail, it's okay because it's a learning environment here. This is such an important step in creating more time freedom for yourself between work and play, is prioritizing. So I chose this image of a storm because what happens when you don't prioritize? What happens is everything gets blown out of proportion and it becomes this big storm in your mind because everything feels like you have to pay attention to it now. Hence the stress that starts seeping into your mind and body when you start believing that everything is urgent. What I want you to do when you're taking notes today, when you're writing down the second step of prioritizing, is I want you to write down everything that you have been avoiding. Maybe not everything, but maybe 2 or 3 big projects that you've been avoiding that are work-related, or maybe if you're not in business right now, but you want to write down this answer still, you could write down the projects that you have been avoiding that are personally related. But what are you putting off? Because usually we tick off of our to-do list those little steps in the day, little tasks in the day that make us feel good because they don't take much time to accomplish, and we can tick them off our to-do list, which feels great. But we're not accomplishing the bigger projects or tasks that take more effort or time, but actually free our mind up because we're not thinking that there still need to be paid attention to, still need to be completed. So our mental space is freed up. Not only that, but we are able to create more time freedom for ourselves because we finally got that done, that big project done. And one of the big projects some of you leaders may be putting off is training, organizing a training plan. What happens when you onboard somebody? What happens in a maintenance plan? You have to create that plan. You have to prioritize training. You have to prioritize the tasks that are big and you don't want to take on. If you can't delegate them, you need to accomplish them and you need to prioritize them at the top of your list. If you want to have long-term freedom, then you have to avoid that desire for instant gratification and tick off those priorities. Prioritize those things that are not necessarily small and easy, but are going to provide you long-term freedom. Because when you do that, you're not always following the whim of what you feel like doing. You're not always following the whim of, oh, that's going to take a long time. That's going to take a lot of effort. I don't feel like it. Well, you stop listening to your emotions and you remind yourself of what your goals are. You remind yourself of where you're heading and why you're taking care of the big jobs first, the more important jobs first, so you can have more time freedom, right? Everyone wants more time freedom. What happens when you do this, when you prioritize, is your stress levels go way down because you're not making everything a big stress case. You're not making everything urgent anymore. So when your stress goes down, your energy increases, your productivity increases because you're taking care of the important things first. You're not procrastinating anymore. Doors start opening, opportunities start opening because you're taking care of what really matters instead of the little itty bitty things that really don't move you forward in life. The third step to create more time freedom in your business, in your work life, so that you're more like the master of your business or company instead of the slave to it, is to create boundaries for yourself. Basically, you are responsible for what's in your boundaries. See this fence here, this picture of a fence. You determine how you're going to spend your time. You are the one who determines when you're going to clock into work and when you're clocking out. Maybe you're a leader. Maybe you are not a business owner. You still determine the time when your cell phone turns on, when your iPad turns on, whenever your devices are first checked. That's still in your control. It's still in your control how much work you're going to do after work. You are the one who has to decide when, where, and when the boundary lines will be drawn. You're responsible for your time freedom, remember? You need to say no to things now, no to some things now, so that you can have more freedom later. So it's kind of like you're going to experience a temporary feeling of lack so you can have more freedom tomorrow. And when you say no to certain things, like you say, no, I'm not prioritizing my feeling of wanting to making my decisions from a place of fear. Like if I'm not always available for clients or patients or whoever in the evenings, then maybe I'm going to miss out on work. Maybe my success will decrease. When you are available and you don't have boundaries, you're available all the time. What happens is you're going to start becoming more irritable. You're going to start becoming nastier with your spouse, possibly. You won't be as present with your children. I had a client last year who, when he came to me, was feeling so wound up. He said he was feeling as wound up as a popcorn fart. And I thought, okay, that's an awesome expression. I've never heard that one. He was feeling like a ball of stress. And pretty much the reason for it is because he had zero boundaries. So we worked through some of his beliefs around, why he felt like he needed to be available all the time for his clients. And then we helped determine where his boundary lines were going to be from now on. He decided that in the morning, before a certain time, he wasn't going to allow himself to open up any devices. He could read written material, but he couldn't look at the computer, internet, phone, anything like that. Everything was off until a certain time. You know what happened in his life just from this simple act? He was able to be more present at breakfast with his family and engage with them before he left them for the day. He was able to be more courteous and loving and present with his wife, to hear her and make her feel heard. So these things make a dramatic impact in your life, just drawing simple boundary lines. Because between life and work, those boundaries can get really blurry, and that's normal because you may love what you do for work. It's your joy and your passion. Awesome. But you need to be careful because it can Those blurry lines can seep into all areas of your life and create some negative consequences you don't want to experience. So this is super important, this point of boundaries. Set up a time when you're working, when you're off. In order for you to have boundaries, you need to be disciplined. You need to experience a temporary lack so that you can have future freedom until that habit becomes natural and it doesn't feel like you're giving up much at all, so that you can have more later, so you can have the best. When will you cap your hours? When will you start? When will you stop and say enough is enough? I am enough. So what do you need in order to have really healthy boundaries? You need to be committed and you need to be disciplined. See this guy jumping in the water? You can't give up once you've jumped. You can't say, I'm not going to hit the water anymore. I'm going to put my feet back on the rock. You need to commit. So you need to practice that. Setting up a routine for yourself and practicing what you say you're committed to is going to become just normal. It'll become easier, and you're going to be starting to develop these new habits because you're using self-control. You're using discipline. I used to hate the word discipline because I wanted to have freedom. I wanted to be spontaneous. I wanted to live my life on my own terms. And if I committed to something next week, that would mean if something more fun came up, I wasn't able to do that. Now I know that when I'm disciplined and I follow through on the habits that I want to prioritize in my life flourishes. I'm happy. I feel like I'm connected with my friends and my family. My business is successful. I'm more productive when I'm disciplined and I use self-control, just like you. You're going to notice such amazing and beautiful side effects. Create your boundary lines, commit to them, and stay disciplined, and you're going to experience amazing time freedom. So what steps are you going to commit to taking so you can have more time freedom? If you want to comment in the sidebar so you can have more accountability, I welcome you to do that. This is an area where you have free accountability and others know what actions you're committing to. It's really massive accountability. It really helps you go far. So I'm going to stop the screen share here and ask you a few questions. Okay, here I am. Oh, hi, Michelle. Welcome to the call. Great to have you live. If you're joining us and I didn't see you beforehand, please enter your name and where you're from in the chat bar to the right. I just want to ask you, what do you think it's costing you to not take action now? To not create boundaries, to not prioritize, to not delegate to others, to not train people up so that you're not always needed at work? What's it costing you? How is it affecting your health? How is it affecting your thought life? Do you get into negative mental ruts? How is it affecting other areas of your life, maybe your relationships? And what would it mean to you to be able to create less stress for yourself over the next 30, 60 days, 3 months, 6 months? What would you be able to achieve? Think of that. It's exciting to think of what you could be able to achieve if you had more of a feeling of calm every day instead of anxiety or stress. If you could have more time off to rest and play, how would that impact your work life? How would that impact how connected you felt to the ones you love? How would your health improve? Would you be at your ideal weight? Would you be stronger? Would you be more energetic and clear-minded? I mean, there's massive results that you could be experiencing if you take action. So I invite you to. I have a program that I've created, and it's called Breakthrough to Your Fun, Fabulous Life. It's a group coaching program. It's 6 months long, and personally, I think it's the best program for you if this resonated with you, if this training really hit your head and your heart. I coach one-on-one with you every month privately for an hour, and we get very crystal clear on what your goals are, what action steps you need to take, the top 3 you need to take every month, and they vary depending on where you're at. And then I help you identify where you might be limiting yourself in your thinking patterns and how to transform your beliefs to empower you rather than strip you of power. What this program entails is quite diverse, but a little bit about it is I help you learn how to let go of control so that you can have more free time and trust others to take care of tasks that before you felt you were the best to take care of. I also show you how to, I also teach you how to gain better control over your stress so that your stress levels dramatically decrease and you are making more time for your health, making more time for those priorities that make you feel amazing. This is just a little bit about the program. And I have opened up an hour of my time over the next week or so that I can help you really gain clarity on where you want to go right now in life, what you need to overcome, and I help you create a specific plan of action to help you get there. This is 100% free. So I invite you to apply for that time with me if this resonates with you. If you maybe have questions about the program, you want to find out more, you can apply to speak with me and have that hour with me for free. You can apply at amyengelmark.com/breakthrough. So I'm going to put that in the search bar here. amyengelmark.com/breakthrough. Okay, it's at the top of the page there. And you can find out more about the program at this link. It's amyengelmark.com/about. That gives you some more really fine-tuned details about the program. What I notice makes the biggest impact in the members' lives that are involved right now is they are experiencing massive growth due to the accountability. There is tons of mentorship and support that I offer you in the program. We have weekly calls where there's training and ample time for question and answer. You have lifetime access to all of the modules in the program. They're audio, written, you can print them out, and video training. So you have lifetime access and you can access them whenever you want. I'm going to ask you the question now about, so one of you can get this book, Feel the Fear and Do It Anyways. Who of you knows what my favorite type of workout is right now? If you follow me on Facebook, I post about it sometimes. See if you can guess what my favorite workout is right now. I love being active, but this is the one thing that I do most consistently right now. And I will mail this book to you if you're the first to answer. I'll just give you a couple seconds here while I sip away at my water. I sure get thirsty talking to you. I hope you enjoyed the training, and thanks for staying till the end. For those of you who are watching the replay, the hour of my time is also open to you as well. And I encourage you to take advantage of it and to not wait for the perfect timing. If you feel a tug in your heart, it's natural to feel a bit fearful when you are moving towards your dreams, when you're growing as a person. The worst thing you can do is procrastinate and put it off due to fear. So can anyone guess what the workout I love to do, what class it is that I love to partake in? I love mountain biking, but that's not a class. It starts with, the first word is something you put on your foot. Hi, Ran. I'm great. I'm glad you're here. Sorry you had trouble with your Wi-Fi, but I'm glad you got on. That's awesome. So, for those of you who are still on, what class do I love going to a couple times a week? And it just kicks my butt. I know some of you know this answer. And I'll give it away if I give you the first word. It's something, the first word is something you put on your foot. If you can't get that one, let me give you another question. 2 years ago, I went to another country and I was able to take my business and work from abroad with my family while we were on a month-long vacation. Does anyone know what country that was? I got to luxuriate in the awesome warmth and sun, swim a lot, snorkel. It was fabulous. And my business never stopped. I was also able to be productive and have time off. Anyone guess what country that was where me and my family went? You'll get this book. So last week I had someone contact me and answered one of these questions right. If for some reason, oh, Ran, you are right. Good for you. Ran, I was in Hawaii. I was on the island of Kauai, and I'm absolutely in love with the island. It's the Garden Island, and as far as I know, there's one point on the island which has the most precipitation in the world. Crazy. Their water levels rise like crazy. Anyways, Ron, I will get this book sent to you. If you could email me your mailing address, that would be the easiest for me. Okay, have a fabulous day, everyone. I'm so glad you were able to join me live. Thanks for checking in the chat room so I can see who you are, where you're from, who's joining us. And join us next week for another fabulous training where you can gain access to strategies, tools that are going to really help you propel forward and create more life balance for yourself. Take me up on that offer as well if you're interested in finding out more and how I can help you get the results you want. Bye.